People, they were great. After a while, all of a sudden, I see that the wife's like off in la la land, running around town, leaving her kids. The kids are now almost living on the streets, not being taken care of. I was coaching baseball and seeing the one boy just not with no direction, nothing. I knew the father who when I first met him was an amazing man, was a great father. All of a sudden, I'm driving by their house often, and I'm noticing that he's not even taking care of his house anymore. He's not shoveling his driveway. He's got so much snow load up on his roof. I was afraid his roof was going to cave in on him. I would go by and help plow out his driveway and try to help him. I could tell they were going through tough times. Um, Once again, the house sat empty for 3 years. And lo and behold, Michael Hamilton's father, I believe, was the contractor that came in and started fixing up the home. And then Dan Vandermeulen came up and started finishing it up. Over here, we had this home here on, they don't have a name on it, but this one is Waterfall, North Waterfall. It was 738 North Waterfall. The house sat empty and the pipes got frozen, sat empty for about 3 years. And then an FLDS person moved into the home and helped fix it up. And well, they lived there with their kids running all over heck with hardly even wearing clothes or shoes. I had to bring the little baby home one day because the baby wasn't being taken care of and no one knew where the baby was. We're walking in the middle of the street. This FLDS family took over the home, fixed it up, and sold it. A number of families have gone in and out of this home and have had issues.
862 Cottonwood Drive.
Yeah. And then if you come over here to South Glacier, let's see, the delivery guy was telling me he was delivering 30 to 50 gallons at this house. This is a 616 South Glacier Drive. And then on the very end of the street would be 631 South Glacier Drive. Over here on Cottonwood, this is 640, and this is Cottonwood Drive. These people got very sick.
We covered this one, 738 north. Okay, and what about this one here, 822 or?
You know, he marked it 822.
White. White
It's
Hen.
on
White Hangata.
on Hanagita, West Hanagita Street.
All right.
Now this is the one that is really humbling. This is where I realized that the allowing the house to freeze solid racket has been going on for a long time. This is 111. And I went to look at this house with Alice McDonald, and the house had all the pipes frozen, had all this wall and water damage. They told me that, yeah, it's on the market, but we can't sell it to you until it gets fixed up. It's had around for another 2 years after Alice McDonald told me, after somebody interested in buying it, and she told me that they would get it fixed up and then sell it. It's had around for another 2 years. She never even tried to recontact me.
So that's 1111 Mineral Creek Drive.
That's right. The next one is very humbling to me. This is 1141 on Mineral Creek Drive. This was a gentleman I worked with and considered a friend. His name was Otto Colm. Otto Colm owned the most successful hunting guide service and fishing business in town, and literally in South Central Alaska. He grew a business and was doing an amazing job called Pacific Mountain Guides. Otto Colm was the kind of guy that looked like the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. The guy was an animal, a super skilled sportsman, super skilled mariner in the ocean, fisherman. He had a little boy. Gosh, I can't think of his boy's name now. Pretty serious. This little boy all of a sudden started having brain tumors. Otto Colm, I would see him around town, and he went from looking like he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys, an amazing athlete, to where he was just looking horrible. He seemed like he had massive inflammation. His chest was pushed out. His guts were pushed out. He was literally gray, his skin color. So he supposedly died in a boat out by Montague Island, being succumbed to a small generator putting carbon monoxide inside the cabin of the boat. I don't buy it for a second. The guy was highly skilled, very experienced, knowledgeable. The one thing that happened with him was, of course, his house went empty when they moved out after he died. His son went on to have health issues for a long time and then finally passed away. But a guy named Tim Bouchard, an FLDS member, came into town and basically took over the whole market. He now calls himself Valdez, with the Mountain Outfitters. He's done some very suspicious things around me and my business that seem to be not normal, literally stalking my office and doing weird things. Even made some sort of police report of some kind against me, claiming I slandered him or something. I didn't even know the guy. None of this had ever come up prior to this. This was before I realized it. This is 1142 Mineral Creek Drive. This is David Dingle. David Dingle used to be the city manager. If anybody knew about frauds and embezzlements through Bill Walker, the past law firm that ran the city, he would know. And then he had taken, after they fired him from that job, he then took the top job at the Copper Valley Telephone Cooperative, and he's now sick and dying, or hopefully not dying of cancer. Hopefully he'll survive it. But he's dealing with cancer that moved in on his life within like 4 months. One thing that was very suspicious and I believe has a huge, needs to be highly investigated, is by a guy named Chris Spencer, who took a job at the Copper Valley Telephone Cooperative local phone company. Mr. Spencer literally made my office manager, who we've proved to be fraudulent, Carissa Basic Friend, the sister of one of the police officers in town, Aaron Basic. They hid this fact from me for a number of years. Even when Aaron Basic came to my house to introduce himself out of the blue, just a cold call, knock on the door. Hi, I'm Aaron Basic. I'm a new police officer in town. Hi, nice to meet you. Welcome to Valdez. I invited him in my home, tried to make him feel welcome, literally to realize that he was the brother or relation to Carissa Basic Friend, who embezzled my company, identity theft and mortgage investments and everything else. And for 7 years, she worked for me and hid this fact. So this guy, Chris Spencer, literally made Carissa Friend the owner of my cell phone contract while I was 4,000 miles away. Carissa Friends was involved with destroying 14,000 client files. This would be proof of purchases and sales and heli skiing. 15 years of emails and 3 different email accounts. Got a credit card behind my back without my knowledge and booked a hotel room in Chicago where my wife, Kara Nyquist, it appears that possibly Judge Henderson and Blake Quackenbush orchestrated a fabricated restraining order on Mr. Cummings. So the crazy part about this whole thing with Dave Dingle is Chris Spencer's the CFO of the phone company. And this town, Valdez, Alaska, is on a mission to destroy records. The city